Hello, I am Valerie Aiello. Welcome to my idea diary. This is a podcast that I am trying out. I'm hoping to keep these at about 15 minutes, and I don't know if I'm gonna like this or hate this. This is embarrassing. This is terrifying. But I am going to put it all out there. I'm not sure if this is going to be a daily thing, a weekly thing, a once a month thing, but I am getting started. So I think that might be the hardest part, to just go ahead and put something out there. I am going to keep these at about 15 minutes long. And I'm not sure what value they're going to bring to you, the person listening. But I'm gonna, I'm just gonna kind of take notes of random things. I'm not a comedian, so I'm not really gonna tell jokes or anything like that, or try to be funny. But the things that I kind of research in the world, I think I'm going to, if something's interesting or funny, I'm going to kind of write down in my little purse journal and kind of bring it to you, the listener. And maybe you discover something cool or valuable, and maybe that's how I bring value. I am kind of rethinking the entire thing about social media, how it brings value to people's lives, what's important. I'm pretty sure that I'm kind of done with the idea of posting everything that's super random or going on. When it comes to friends and people that I really know in my life, I'm kind of feeling like social media might be keeping us more apart than it is pulling us together. So I am going off Facebook and Instagram, where I think most of the people post personal stuff. I don't necessarily want to just turn it into a business profile either, because I feel like that's weird. My high school, middle school, elementary school friends kind of didn't follow me on there for business stuff. But if it's personal, if it's my life, just in general, I'm really confused about social media and the value it brings and the connection that actually happens on there. I'm kind of done with the 2-second post. I kind of never got political or anything like that. I don't always know how I feel, and I'm a human, and I can change my mind. And with people judging everybody, I never wanted to show political opinions or teach anybody or tell people what I've discovered on YouTube. I kind of just wanted to keep it friendly and all that stuff, and I still do. But I also want to, if I'm going to post something, I feel like I really like the idea of a long form 15-minute podcast, for example. I like the idea of maybe having a conversation that's an hour long. I really like how people can communicate super awesome things on their YouTube channels. And it might be a tutorial, or it might be a vlog, or it might be just a million things that it could be. I like the idea of communicating using the internet and using YouTube and Spotify and I even like the TikTok 1-minute videos. I feel like you can share a lot. You can, you can do valuable things in 1 minute. But yeah, I don't know where I fit in. I do want to help people be more awesome and live more awesome. I don't really want to be a coach. I don't want to be a teacher. I kind of want to do my thing, and I do want to connect. So I feel like I just need to get on here, press record. Right now you're in my office, which is in my house. And I feel like if I could just inspire people, that could be a great reason, a great why to want to have a show, podcast. It feels weird saying show because show means entertainment, and I don't feel like I know how to do that. So, I don't know. It does feel really bizarre talking into a microphone all alone with no one to communicate with, but I'm willing to try. I feel like I need to start somewhere. I've watched tons and tons of people start YouTube channels or start podcasts, and it's not always the most professional thing in the world, but it's definitely, you can see the growth. And so I'm hoping, today is July 1st, 2020, and I'm hoping maybe in 6 months or 1 year or 5 years, I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, wow, I'm super glad I got started. It was horrible and embarrassing in the beginning, but it did turn into something. So that's what I'm doing. And the show is called Idea Diary. And I really want, I don't really have an agenda. This is a no agenda show. So I just want to see where it goes and where it takes me. So if this ends up being something just for myself and I'm kind of reporting and looking back on my life, then I don't know. I feel like that's kind of cool. If you want to join and listen and kind of take the journey with me, that's even more awesome. And if I'm sure I'll probably say something wrong or say something weird or make a weird joke that is inappropriate or crazy. I'm not perfect. I invite you to send me a message, send me a DM. I'll bring you on the show, on the podcast. And I totally open having conversations, answering questions. I kind of feel like I'm here to embarrass myself. So if I, said something you don't agree with, like, let's talk about it. I don't feel kind of here not to be scared, even though it is scary. So, some random notes. I guess we're in Mercury retrograde. I don't know anything about that, but I do know people complain a lot and say things go wrong during Mercury retrograde. And I've honestly never had problems, but maybe it's because during Mercury retrograde, like, there's something with my astrological signs or birth date or whatever that it actually brings me more positive things. Kind of, it's like an opposite effect for me. I am confusing, and things happen to me weird in a way that I could totally see that happening. So July, now that I think about it, July was kind of a big month for me in 2007. That was the last time I had I worked for a company and I got a paycheck. July 2nd, 2007 was my last day of work. And I've been, I was an art director at a record label then, and I produced albums and did a lot of fun stuff. And after that, I when I quit, I wanted to make my own projects and do my own thing and have more time. Then I was in a band and have more time for the band, I guess, and just have more, having a job there was never drudgery. I loved it. I went to work 3 hours early and I left 3 hours late. And I loved all my coworkers. I loved being there. It was an indie label, so we got a lot of freedom. There was a lot of meetings to where, you had to come there with ideas and you had to fight for ideas, and I really loved it. But I decided to go freelance graphic design, and I never, being a freelance person, I had ups and downs and times when you just having a paycheck feels more relaxing than going out and looking for jobs and looking for clients. But so there were times when I kind of thought I would hang up my hat and just go work for a company, learn whatever I could learn, but that never happened for me. I kind of have been my own boss since then, and I guess that happened in July. So here I am, starting a new something. We'll see what it turns out to be. But this is, I'm Valerie, and this is my idea diary. And I guess that's it. I was going to put on a timer so I could record the time, but I messed that up. So I don't think we're at 15 minutes yet. I guess explain the name of the show. So I've always, when I went to college, got an internship, worked at a company, the thing that I felt most closely to is we always had a new idea meeting. And I always felt like an idea person. So I wasn't just an art director or graphic designer. I really connected with the word idea, and I loved our idea meetings, and so I've kept that going ever since. And I'm in the process of making a journal series, and I didn't want to call it journals. I didn't want to call it workbooks. I didn't want to call it planners or organizers, just because I felt like it was different than all of those things, closest to a journal. But so I'm kind of thinking, I'm in between calling them diaries or chronicles, and I just kind of like the idea of a show name called Idea Diary, because I felt like there was not a lot of pressure. Like I said, I'm not here to teach anything or to be a entrepreneur guru or anything like that. I'm here to practice my communication skills with you, hopefully listening. And I just kind of want to communicate who I am and have you get to know me and all that stuff. I also, I was really inspired. We're in the quarantine and a lot of people are home, so a lot of people are jumping on YouTube and doing YouTube things that normally aren't. But there's this comedian, Melissa Villaseñor, and I don't have TV, so I don't watch SNL, but I recognize her face, I guess, from YouTube clips of SNL and stuff like that. So, but Melissa, she started a podcast on her YouTube channel, and it was just funny, and it was short, and it was, the way a friend put it, well, in a different conversation, a friend of mine used the word quaint, and I was like, oh, I really like that word right now. With the whole world falling apart, quaint feels very nice. And yeah, so her show was, to me, a quaint little snippet of something to listen to, during the day while I'm working or exercising. And she's just being funny. She's just writing down random things and talking about them. And I guess maybe she's practicing some jokes here and there. But really, she's just talking and being silly, and silly in a good way, which I feel like, I don't know, it's just awesome and inspiring. So I can definitely say her making her podcasts the past couple weeks definitely inspired me just to get on, press record, and talk. So I sent out a thank you to her and to the world. But I guess I'm going to wrap up this first episode because I feel like we're good for now. So I don't know how you end a show. I guess I'm just gonna play some music and see you later. Bye.